Watch Alex Lindsay turn my face into a scary old lady today on Call for Help.
I was standing over there. Oh, hi, how are you? Welcome to Call for Help. I'm Leo Laporte. Yes, we're going to do a TV show today. That's a good idea, I think, yeah. Today is going to be a fabulous day for Call for Help viewing. We've got a wonderful show planned for you. This is the show, in case you're new to it, where we kind of help you understand technology, not just computers, but everything having to do with technology, so that you can use it better. You know, even if you didn't have a computer, it'd be important to understand technology. But if you've got technology. If you've got a cell phone or a home theater or a computer or an MP3 player, a PDA, or you have friends or family who do, it really helps a lot to understand how it works. And I know sometimes it seems a little overwhelming and maybe even thinking, I hope not, but maybe even thinking, I can't understand that. I'm not smart enough. Yes, you are. 6-year-old kids can get it. It's not that this stuff is complicated. It's our own feelings of inadequacy that stop us. But I'm here to tell you, if I can do it, you can do it. And it isn't that difficult. And if you just watch this show a few times, I think you'll understand. More and more, you'll start to feel like, oh, yeah. Oh, that isn't that. Oh, I can do that. And before you know it, I got to warn you, we might turn you into a geek. It could happen. Ladies and gentlemen, you'd never know it, but she's a geek. Amber MacArthur.
This show has definitely turned me into a geek. That I know for sure.
I'm glad, though, because it means a geek can be a beautiful, wonderful, nice person. It doesn't have to be the guy with the taped-up glasses going,
Just wait till you see Alex Lindsay's segment.
He turned you into something. I don't know what. Yeah, that's coming up. Alex is our 3D expert, and in honor of Halloween, he's going to scarify you.
Yes.
And it's pretty bad.
I've seen it. It's quite scary.
Ooh. How could you make this beautiful woman into something scary? Just watch. That's going to be a good segment. Amazing what technology could do. What are you going to be talking about?
Today I'm going to talk about this relatively new service online. It's a web-based application called Writely, and it allows you to upload and edit documents online and collaborate and share those documents with other people. So you don't have to upload the documents. You can also go online and create your own documents in Writely.
Oh, very
so
cool.
It's kind of, it probably reminds you of a wiki, but it's not exactly a wiki. It's a little bit different.
Right.
So we'll show you that in case you have documents you need to collaborate on.
Online collaboration. I like that. That sounds good. But we do call the show Call for Help for a reason. Your calls. Let's get our first call today on.
All right. We have DJ Buddha Blaze from Kanawaki, Quebec.
And I understand DJ Buddha Blaze has got to be back on the radio any minute now, so let's hurry up. Hey, DJ Buddha Blaze.
How you doing?
Welcome to the show.
Thanks. Big fan. I've been watching you guys since before you were in Canada, Screensavers and all that. Love the show.
And you work on, can I say where you work?
Sure.
K103? Yeah.
Look, I'll show you. Oh, look at that. Ooh.
I knew.
Shameless plug.
It was right behind you. So if the boss was watching, he's good. He's real good. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. What can I do for you?
Well, I got a question about the iPod. I've been a recent convert, to it, and basically what I've been using is I do music production, and with me and my partner, we like to, we'll have our whatever we're working on at the time, and I want to know, is it possible if I bring my iPod to his place, run it through iTunes, is he able to extract stuff and vice versa?
Oh, that's a really good question. And Apple doesn't make it easy because if you think about it, an iPod is like the perfect music piracy tool because it holds all your songs, right? Mm-hmm. And just as you said, if you bring it over to a friend's place, you say, here, take 3,000 songs like that. Whoa! So, but the truth is they don't make it easy, but they don't make it that hard either. In fact, you can, even in Terminal, you could browse the iPod with normal Unix commands and see all the songs. The thing is that the names of the songs are obscured. They use the tags for the names. But because of the fact that it's still there, it's not like locked down and hidden. Numbers of people have written programs to do this. Let me show you. We have a Mac set up here. It's pretty much the same on the PC, but I'm going to show you on the Mac because I've got my iPod hooked up to the Macintosh. The first thing you've got to do is you've got to put your iPod in FireWire disk mode.
Okay.
They say enable disk use.
Yeah.
And the reason is then it's visible as a volume, a standard volume on the desktop. And once it is, now you notice, by the way, and this is the biggest risk of doing this, as soon as you hook up your iPod to somebody else's system, it says, oh, the iPod's linked to another iTunes music library. Do you want me to change the link to this library? And replace all existing songs.
Exactly.
So you got to remember to say no and be really careful. And I wouldn't do this unless you really make sure that you've got copies of these songs, because I have, by accident, erased everything on my iPod. Okay, so now I said no, but it says it's updating iPod. I'm going to pray that it's actually not. Now notice we've got the iPod right here. In fact, this is it. I can browse around in it, but there's nowhere that the music is. Well, not in the Finder, but there are a number of programs that'll do this. I'm going to show you one. This is called X-Publish from Bitcom, and we're going to try it. And this this is the wrong program. I'm sorry. I got the wrong program up here. Well, I want to show you Rob's Exporter. There's a couple of them. Okay, that's good. We don't have either one of them. Here's the one. There's the one I was going to show you. Where is it? This is probably the most popular one. Rob's iPod Exporter. They're not. Look, it's not brilliant software. It's pretty straightforward. It'll show you, as you can see here, everything on your iPod, and you can check the stuff you want, and then you press copy, and it copies it. And that's it. Now, the one reason you'd want to do this over, say, using your terminal program is it keeps the names and everything of the files. It actually replaces the file names.
Nice.
Okay. So that's one. I mean, the truth is, if you go to Version Tracker and you type in iPod, you'll see about 8,000 programs. Are you using Macs or Windows?
Well, actually, he's using Mac and I'm using Windows.
Okay, so he'll have to use it if you're going to do it on his system, he'll have to use Mac software. There's plenty of Windows software that'll do the same thing as well.
Cool.
Okay.
As far as, and even if I wanted to reinstall on my own, like on another second PC, that's another thing I wanted to ask. Are they going to make me reinstall, like, you need to have your serial, and is it going to work? And
no. Well,
you know what
wait
I mean?
a minute.
I have a work laptop that I bring to work with me.
I guess the question is if it's stuff you bought on the iTunes Music Store. If it is, then yeah, you won't be able to play it unless you either sign into the iTunes or you take out you can take the encryption, the copy protection out.
I just meant more like having two setups, my laptop at work and my desktop at home, and having both iTunes hooked up so I can use the iPod with both. So I'm worried it's not going to let me reinstall and use it on another one.
No, it will. No, it will. Yeah, but the problem is every time you hook that iPod up to a different computer, it only can be linked to one. So you're going to get that error, that warning message every time.
Okay.
On one of them. Just say no.
Okay.
And then you can manually copy and all that stuff. You just can't. What you don't want to do is automatically copy.
Exactly, because then you're out of luck. So just say no. But no, the way they've set it up, and I think it's kind of annoying. You can only have this tied to one of your computers at a time. So I'm gonna have to get myself a little memory stick or something to move my stuff around, maybe.
Well, no. Okay, now, no, you don't. Because the other way is when you have it in disc mode, you can still copy music onto here. It just won't play as music on the iPod.
Oh, I can use it almost as a storage.
You can use it as a hard drive.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wasn't sure how to enable it, like.
It's in iTunes. It's under the preferences. It says enable disk use. So for instance, here's music. I'm going to copy actually not that, but I'm going to copy all of these songs onto my iPod. Now, I'm copying it there. It's going to use it as a storage device, as a hard drive, but I won't be able to play those songs because they're not in the right folders, but I will be able to copy them and move them around.
Extract them onto his PC or whatever.
Yeah, and that's how, actually, Apple tells you how to do that. They say, oh, yeah, if you ever want to move your music around, just put it on the iPod as a file.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Nice.
All right, Buddha Blaze, we're going to let you go back to work.
Well, thanks a lot. I just got to say, you guys got to do some stuff on Acid 5.0.
Love Acid.
Pro Tools, SL, Reason 3.0. Great programs.
When you coming out here to
some guys come on.
When you coming out here to show us? We'll put you on.
I'd love to, man. Where are you guys filming?
We're in Toronto. Come to Toronto. You'll be on the show.
I'd love to come through. We'll have to talk about it.
Oh, it makes me sneeze just to think about it.
There you go. Restart that hard.
Thank you, Buddha. Take care.
Have a good afternoon, guys.
All right. DJ Buddha Blaze there, baby, from K103. Coming up next, you ever wonder what you're going to look like in 20 years? I don't. I already know. Alex Lindsay's going to transform Amber, who needs to know, into a scarier version when Call for Help continues. Right after this quick sneeze. Stay right here. Shop. It's time to make a scary Halloween mask. I've got an idea. Why start with, a politician? Well, I mean, those Brian Mulroney masks are scary, but what if you took your own face and turned it into a mask? On most days, Amber's lovely pud looks like she couldn't hurt a fly, but today, after Alex Lindsay's done with her, you wouldn't want to meet her scary mug late at night in a dark alley. No siree. Today, we learned some fun Photoshop techniques to make your face look just that much more frightening. And in my case, it's easy. That's why we started with Amber. No plastic surgery involved here. So you took a picture of Amber, Alex, before.
Yeah, and so we just took it out in the hallway. And so this is just a real basic photo.
You had to make her not smile, though.
It's very hard to get Amber not to smile.
She's
always smiling.
I
tried to take another one today, and I was like, okay, don't smile. And then I get even a bigger smile. It's like talking.
It's really hard. But you did finally, you told her
one.
Dead kittens or something.
Yeah.
Dead bunnies.
Dead bunnies.
Dead bunnies.
She went,
oh, no. Yeah.
Okay. So why not smile? Is it easier to do this?
It's just easier. I mean, you could do it, but if we want to make her look mean, you could make her look more like evil master of something kind of evil. But I wanted it to be.
But you could do this with any picture you happen to have.
Yeah, you could. Right. All these things could work. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up Photoshop's Liquify and have a little bit of fun with the actual geometry of Amber's face.
This used to be a standalone program called Goo. Kai's Goo.
I don't know if it's the same app, but it was
similar.
Very similar thing. So what we can do here is, the big things that you want to do is there's just little things that'll make her a little scarier. So for instance, we can give her a frown there's this little twirl, and we can, if I click on the corner of her mouth and just turn it like this and hold down my Option key and click again, or Alt on the PC, that's going to turn it downward.
It's amazing, the thin line between beauty and horror.
Right.
It doesn't take much to take a beautiful person or attractive-looking person and just, it's funny, it's the slightest thing.
And then if we pull her chin up.
Because I got to say, you don't look great.
I'm looking pretty sick.
Well, like one of the things that really works for Amber's face is the length of it, and so by
shortening it.
By shortening it, by bringing up that, giving it that real, now she has.
Michael Jackson.
So, he didn't need to do all that work. He could have just done it in Photoshop.
Yeah.
So, now, the next thing that we'll do is we might want to, make her nose a little longer.
Oh, dear.
Bring it down a little bit. We can also, one of the things that'll make her look a little bit more mean is just to bring up an eyebrow. And it's amazing how little you have to do.
Cruella de Vil. Cruella de Vil. Wow.
So now we have her looking. Now, the final thing we're going to do to her, we're going to make her look a little mad. There we go. And then we can make her look, her eyes just a little bit bigger.
Well, that's interesting. How are you doing that?
This is a little expand right here, and so I can.
All of this is in the Liquify.
This is all in the Liquify tool. It's just what it does is it's building. I think I can actually show this mesh here. Let me see if I can. What it's doing is it's actually building a mesh of what everything looks like, and then you're just moving a mesh, and it's just transforming all of the pieces.
Right.
And
it's like a wireframe that they use on video games.
Exactly. If we show the mesh here, you can see this is the stuff that I've done to her face.
Transform.
So it's expanded basically the vertices between each other, and then it just moves those pixels connected to those. So it's
interesting how increasing the size of the pupils makes her look scarier.
Yeah, I can make someone look kind of cute. Because you have that
big eye,
the big eye thing but it can also make someone look a little. And if you don't do them the same, it makes her look more scary. Because one of the things that we see is
symmetry is beauty.
Symmetry is beauty, and so I'm making her a little unsymmetrical. It works out pretty well.
I think you need to do something to her ears.
Okay. We can.
I mean, I don't want to kibitz or anything, but
there we go. How about that?
There you go. Oh yeah, baby.
There we go. So now we're step one is step one. We're right along. It's by itself. It's got some potential.
Yes.
And so there we go. Well, so now it's transformed her. Now the next step is that what we're going to do is we're going to change the coloration of her face a little bit.
She's still pretty cute. You got to do something here.
So let's take what we're going to do is we're going to take the channel mixer. Okay. Now we've used this before to turn stuff into black and white images, and we might do that in a minute. But one of the things that we can do is we can change how the different channels are mixing together. Mm-hmm. So if we want to give her more of a green tone, for instance, we can bring this up.
Sure.
We can bring the red down.
She's in Wicked. Oh, there you go.
And we might want to play with it. We might not want to go too far on it, but just like a little bit of a greenish tint we'll give it kind of a...
Now, to get that, you turned up the green and you turned up the red.
I turned the red down.
Turn down the red.
I pulled the red out a little bit and put the green in. And what we're doing is we're changing what's in red. So we're moving more green to the red channel. And so that's allowing it to... So now we've changed kind of that breakdown. So now
we call that the channel mixer.
The channel mixer, and it's in the adjustments. And so now we've kind of changed the complexion. Now we might want to make it a little bit more stark. So the other thing that we could do is we can make a copy of this, and we're going to go back into the channel mixer. And this time we're going to go to change it to black and white.
Can you give her bad skin?
We're going to give her some bad skin.
Easy.
So we're switching this to monochrome right now.
Okay.
And now what we're going to do is we're going to do this again, where we're going to bring this up. Now that's not necessarily, but if we can bring out a lot more of the just
texture
of the skin, and we may bring this up. We can bring the reds down, and so now we're bringing up. We can. And what you're doing, we're just changing how all this stuff is mixing.
Again, it's a mixer, so it all has to add up to 100%. You're changing the relative proportions of each channel, is that right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now we're bringing out some other stuff, and now if we close that and we change this to something like, let's say, overlay, you can see how it makes it much harsher. And it's a much more harsh image now. And so now she's starting to have that, and it also gives it that kind of almost bleach bypass look to it. Right. So it really has this kind of nasty look. And so now another thing that we might want to do, if we go back to this one, I'm going to look at the channels and grab one of the channels.
It's just a mean thing to do. Do you feel like we're really abusing you, Amber?
A little bit, but that's okay. I'm just going to take it.
All right. Next time he can do me. Okay.
So what I've done is I have copied the green channel, and all I'm going to do is what I want to get the highlights out of her eyes. So I want to use those later.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go in here, because if we want to make her eyes all black,
right?
But we still want the highlights. That'll make it much spookier. So I'm just selecting here, and I'm going to hold down my Shift key, and I'm going to select again, and I'm just selecting the eyes. I'm going to hit Command Shift, it'd be Control Shift on the PC, I to invert that selection, and then I'm going to hit Option or Alt Delete, and that'll fill the selection, everything else. So now you can see I have just her eye pupils, and what I can do here is go through here and I'm taking a black brush and just kind of brushing the little parts of her eyes.
Do you have to be careful, or
I don't have to be too careful. All I'm worried about is just knocking off everything except for the highlights.
Okay.
So now I've got her highlights isolated. We'll come back to that in just a second, but I needed those highlights to work with.
That's the twinkle in her eyes.
Exactly.
You got it right there.
So now I'm going to use the path tool, and I'm just going to select her eyes really, really fast. So I'm just using this path tool, and I'm just clicking and dragging. I'm going to hold down my Option or Alt key to break that, and whoops.
You're good at this.
I'm almost good at it. Let's see here. That's good enough for right now. Let's see here.
So you're making a mask at this point, I bet.
These are I'm just making a quick little mask.
A mask is used just as painter's tape, or masking tape masks off an area so you can paint it without getting the paint in places you don't want it.
Exactly, and the path tool is really a powerful way to do this. A lot of people will try to paint this, but you can always come back to edit the path. You can play with it. You can do a lot of other things with it. So here's the path here. Now if I create another layer, for instance, I'm just going to create a new layer, and I'm just going to take the path and say I want to fill that with black. I'm just going to roll it down to fill. I'm just dragging it down to this little fill, and it fills it with black. Here. And if I deselect it.
Oh, she's evil.
So now I might want to blur that just a little bit, just to soften it up a little bit.
Yeah. So it doesn't look like that you colored black in there. Yeah.
So just make it a little
soften the edges.
So now it just looks like there's a hole in the head.
Yeah.
And so to give it surface again,
let's give it some highlights.
We're going to go back to grab this and copy it.
Yeah.
And we will paste it over, and then just set it to screen, because screen will ignore all the black and only add the highlights back in. So now
it looks like she's got black eyes. There's no whites to her eyes.
So that's so anyway, that's a quick way to kind of have some fun.
Then what do you do with that?
You send it.
What?
Erase it.
Or you can send it out and say Happy Halloween. See, that's the trick or treat.
This is my. I know
this is going to be my card for Happy Halloween.
Oh, let's see. Can you turn the original on? Is there a way to see what you? Not really, huh?
Yeah, I can. Hold on one second here. Let me.
Oh, you have it there.
I have it on the desktop.
Because the original liquid was done to the original, not to a copy of the original. So.
Oh, maybe I can't. Hold on. I can. I'm gonna open one version before it, which is.
when she's normal looking. There we go. From there, from beauty.
Let me just increase it. It's really muddy. Hold on.
Oh, he's such a perfectionist.
I can't help it.
All right.
So
beauty to the beast. Ah! That's how easy it is. Alex Lindsay's a head honcho over at the multimedia empire he runs. They call themselves the Pixel Corps. Of course, for Halloween, it's Pixel Corpse. And to find our show notes on the web, head over to callforhelptv.com. Now, I don't want to scare you or overwhelm you or anything, but it's time for your daily dose of tech trivia. Today, our question of the day, and this is a hard one. What does WEP stand for? Not what you think. Wireless Encryption Platform, Wireless Extension Portal, Wired Equivalent Privacy, or We Expect Perfection? Get to the website, give us the answer, we'll talk about it. One Call for Help continues.
Welcome back to Call for Help. Time for our iTunes tip of the day. Here's how you create new folders in iTunes 5. Go to File, click New Folder, and call your folder Party Mix, and then you can drag any of your playlists into that one folder. Just an easier way to organize all of your playlists. And now we have another caller. We have Moxie on the line from Danville, Pennsylvania.
Hey, Moxie, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. Great to hear from you.
Oh, it's wonderful hearing from you.
And we're back. We're back, baby, on G4. So excited about that.
That is wonderful.
Yeah. What can I do for you today?
Well, listen, I got these programs on my computer now. Everyone who has these large hard drives now, who have hundreds of programs, I can't get mine to scroll all the way across the screen.
Oh yeah. You have you mean on the Start menu?
Yep.
Yeah. You have it so when you click the Start menu and you click All Programs, it goes up and down instead of across.
Well, I have it going across.
You don't want it across, you want it up and down.
Well, if I have it on a scroll, then I got to scroll all the way down to get to the ones I want to use.
Right.
If I have it going across, I can view all of them at one time.
Well, I mean, they always go, you mean across, they go across now, and the reason that they don't go all the way across is because, so what you say is right now you have scroll arrows at the top and the bottom.
Right.
Ah, yeah, I could turn that off for you. That's the old way. I don't know if you remember, but that's how Windows 95 and 98 did it.
Right.
And then they changed it. And the way you fix that is it's a setting, but it's kind of deep within the settings of the Start menu. So you can open the Control Panel taskbar or just right-click on the taskbar in a vacant area and select Properties. And that's going to open up the same thing, the taskbar and Start menu Properties Control Panel. You're going to click the Start menu tab. Now, this is the... Unfortunately, often the case with the Windows is there's about 80 clicks here to get to the part you want. So you're going to open up Taskbar and Start Menu Properties. You're going to go to Start Menu tab. You're going to click Customize. You're going to click the Advanced tab. I'm putting this in the show notes so you don't have to worry about it. And then here in Start Menu Items, which looks like it's actually about the items in the Start menu, which items are in there. This is where you want to change it. You've got to scroll down in that window to this checkbox here, Scroll Programs, and uncheck it. You have it checked right now. So I'm going to show everybody what it looks like for him right now. And this is the old way of doing it. If you go to All Programs, we don't have enough programs for it to do it. But if you have a large set, what happens is it goes off the screen at the top and the bottom, and you have to scroll up and down to get to it. And he doesn't want it that way. He'd like it so that you could see it all on one page.
Right.
So that's how you do it. I'll go through it again one more time. You open by right-clicking the taskbar in a vacant area, the taskbar and Start Menu Properties. Click the Start Menu tab, the Customize tab, the Advanced tab. In the Start Menu items, you scroll down to Scroll Programs and you uncheck it, which is the default for Windows. So somebody must have checked it at some point. Does that all make sense? Are you in XP?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how it is in XP. Yeah.
Okay, one more question.
Yes, sir.
Once you have it going across, right?
Yeah.
And you have too many for that to view, how do you view the ones that aren't on there?
Then you're then I don't know what. I've never seen that many. You've got so many it fills the whole screen and goes off the side?
Well, you guys have that wonderful website where you have the free files.
Yeah, you keep downloading them all. All right, now I understand what's going on. You probably have it set the same way, but it's got so much stuff it's got to scroll. I mean, Windows is smart enough to say, well, I can't see it going off to the right. I better make it going up and down to the top and the bottom. Yeah. So I think it's time to put some folders in your menu. You know how to put folders in your programs menu?
Actually, I can put a folder in there, but then you have to click on it. It doesn't do like when you click on your accessories, how it goes across, and it brings you all the ones you have down in there.
Yeah, yours doesn't do that?
No, not with a folder. It just kind of leaves a folder there, then you got to double-click it, and it brings it
does on my folders.
Really?
Yeah. So here's what you do. You right-click on all programs.
Right.
You select Explore or Open, either way, because what it is really it's an Explorer window.
Right.
And you go in, you're going to go to Start menu, Programs, and if you expand these out, you see you already have some folders, Accessories,
right.
Communications, Startup, Communications, Exact. You could put new folders as long as you put it under Programs. Let's see, we're going to do a new folder here. You go to File, New, Folder, and I'm going to call this one Moxie.
All right.
That's Moxie's folder. And then if I take stuff, for instance, let's say I got too many accessories here. I don't want all these accessories. I want to make it a little bit more organized. I could put them into Moxie's folder. And I'm going to say, yes, move them all. Okay, and now I'm going to close this. Now when I go to Start Programs, there's Moxie. And you hover. I haven't clicked. You hover over it, and it expands it out. Maybe it's not expanding it out because of this checkbox right now. So change the checkbox behavior. It should expand with you get the little black triangle on the right, and it expands out. It's supposed to do that. I think that's because you have the scroll box checked. So uncheck that scroll box, and then all will be well.
Oh, you are sensational.
All will be beautiful. And then, but yeah, I would use, you don't want this to be that big. Get some folders, organize it up a little bit. Have a free file folder.
There you go.
There you go. Hey, thanks for the call, Moxie. I'm so glad you like our free files.
Hey, I love your free files.
That's so good.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
You too now.
Now, if you work on a computer, chances are you're used to collaborating on documents with others at the office. And, well, we're going to go to break? Well, that's why I tripped. See, that was to stop me from going over to Amber. You know how frustrating it is? What if you could do real-time editing online? We'll tell you more about that when Call for Help continues after this quick trip. Whoa! Okay. Do you stay up late at night dreaming of a simple way to work on documents with your colleagues and friends? No, I don't either, but Amber does. And that's why she has come up with an online document sharing service that lets you coordinate and collaborate in real time. This is something you probably would use because I know the people you work with are spread out all over the world.
Yes, so I would definitely use this. So it's really good. And I've also worked on some projects where you have to actually respond to RFPs, a request for proposal. Have you ever done that?
No, thank goodness I never had to do that.
It's the biggest nightmare in the world.
So a company, you pitch a company saying, well, we would like to do this business for you. They say, okay, give us a proposal.
Yeah.
And then you have to come up with this thing.
And usually with when you respond to a request for a proposal, you actually have to work on it with a bunch of different people because you have a bunch of different contractors who are working together to try to get the project.
We kind of did that with the first TV show we did, the site. NBC said, we're starting this new network. And I had about 5 different people. We all put together this 90-page treatment of this new show. So I guess that's a similar thing.
Yes, it's a similar thing. So
we didn't have the benefit of this.
You didn't have the benefit of this because usually you're dealing with Word documents and tracking changes and versions and emails back and forth and those types of things. So what is really great about this, it's called Rightly, and it's a new service that has just come out, and it's completely free, and it allows you to upload and edit documents and add people to your account, and they can also join and edit documents online as well.
It's amazing what great web services are coming out.
I know.
I think we're kind of back in that the way it was 5 years ago in the heyday of the bubble.
It really is.
All these new things.
They always talk about Web 2.0 and sort of the next stage of the web or the internet, and this is exactly where we are at right now. There's tons of, actually one of the things they say on Rightly is that a lot of people think that you have to download a program to do this, but actually it's browser based, so a lot of browsers are actually powerful enough now to be able to handle services and projects like this.
That's what's happening.
This is exactly what's happening. Okay, so we'll take a look at it. So basically you have an option to do 2 things when you join Rightly. You can create a new document or you can upload an existing document. So if you upload a document, all you have to do is click click on Upload, and then you browse which document you would like to upload, and you can upload different formats. You can upload a Word document, text files, you can upload images. I'm going to upload a Word document. So we'll call it, I'm doing a review on another show for Call for Help about alarm clock software. So this is a Word document.
Won't be the first time, won't be the last time.
Nope, it won't.
Do you have trouble getting up?
Not really, actually.
But you love alarm clock software.
I do. You're right. I do have a bit of an obsession with alarm clock software. I know. I have to. Hopefully, I'll get rid of it after I do that segment. Okay.
Look at this. This is the online version?
Yes, this is the online version.
It looks just like a word processor.
Yes, it looks exactly like a word processor. So what it does is it's actually converting it all to HTML.
Wow.
So you can actually edit it within here. So I can go in and I can say, okay, I want to highlight this and make it bold. I can change colors. I can even add, links within the document. And then, obviously, the most important thing about Writely is that you want to be able to collaborate with other people. So I want to add collaborators. And all I'm saying here is that I want to allow other people to get access to this document.
They have to have Writely accounts as well, I presume.
And you can send them an email to subscribe.
You can invite them.
Yes, okay. You can invite them too. So I'm going to add Mikey here. So we click OK. So that means that I want to send an email to Mikey, say that I'm inviting him to share and collaborate on this document. So all I'll do is click OK.
This would be cross-platform too, so it doesn't matter if it's Windows or Mac.
It doesn't matter if it's Windows or Mac, but one thing just to keep in mind, it actually only works on a Mac in Firefox. It doesn't work in Safari yet, but they have plans to change that. So then I would write a little email message to Mikey and say, hey, Mikey, I want you to look at paragraph on page 15 or something like that, and actually enter or do some editing on that part of the document. So that's all you do. So I've shared it with Mikey, and then I can decide I actually want to publish the document, and what that means is that I'm putting it online, and I can decide that I want to let anyone see it, which I probably don't want to do. That means the public. And then I could say, no, I only want to, let a few people see it. So I'll say, if I had, 5 or 6 people here, I would be able to add them and allow them to see the document. And then I can also add, allow them to, or send them an email so they can know that the document's been uploaded and updated. And there's a few other things in here that are really cool. If we go back to editing documents and collaborating, let's see here. We'll go back to,
We use a wiki at Call for Help to do similar stuff. This is more powerful in some ways.
It's a little bit similar to a wiki, but it is more powerful. We'll see right here. One thing they've done as well is they've actually added some features that you've seen sort of in Gmail as well as on Flickr, such as starring documents and adding tags to your documents, which is really neat, so you can search by tags. So we'll see here, as far as, we just showed you how to upload a document. As far as the documents that I already have in here, what I can do is go in and say, these are really important documents, like my favorite songs, and I can add a star, and that means that those will be items that obviously are highlighted and I want to be able to find really easily. So that's kind of a cool feature that they've added as well. Another thing that you can do in here, there's tons of stuff, so it's hard to get through all of it in just a few minutes. I can say that I want to post this document directly to my blog. So again, this is
you can do a collaborative blog this way.
Yes, so this is an additional feature that they've added. It only works right now with Blogger, but I'm guessing they'll add other services as well that it will work with. So the idea is, you can basically go in and you can do a lot of collaboration on documents, create documents, get other people to help you create documents. You can post them to blogs, and you can just manage them and edit them in here, and it's completely free right now.
And I don't see any ads either. It's
there's no ads right now. So, people can go and they can subscribe and invite other people to subscribe and basically collaborate without having to send, multiple files back and forth with email.
Writely.com with a W-R.
Yeah, Writely.com. And we'll put a link to this on our show notes.
And if people have a suggestion...
Yeah, they can email me at amber@callforhelptv.com.
Love to get your feedback, your suggestions for other sites we can cover. By the way, the show notes, callforhelptv.com, and we'll be right back with more of your calls. Stay right here. I guarantee you're going to learn something new before this show's over. Stay here, if you haven't already.
Any size, catches thieves, just like flies. Look out! Here comes the Spider-Man. Commercials too.
Welcome back to Call for Help. Time for our Flickr tip of the day. Here's how you send email to other Flickr users when you're logged into your Flickr account. All you have to do is go up to the top right-hand corner, click on the little envelope icon, and then just click Compose a New Message, and then select any of your contacts from Flickr, from your friends or contact list. And now we have another caller. We have Byron on the webcam from Reno, Nevada.
Hey, Byron.
Hi.
Welcome. Thanks for calling, and thank you, Amber.
No problem.
What can I do for you?
Well, basically, I bought a wireless router,
Yeah.
and every time I log into it who logs into it, it says the router is insecure.
Well, heck, that cat's no good. The reason that is because when these guys sell them, D-Link, Netgear, Linksys, all of them, Belkin, Two Wire, Buffalo, they don't want you calling them for tech support. And if they turned on security, guaranteed you'd be calling them for tech support, because then you got to change the settings in your PC and blah, blah, blah. So they ship these with the default being no security, because chances are they're going to have less problems with you because of it. On the other hand, you don't want it that way, because an insecure wireless access point is basically an invitation to people to snoop on you. You're broadcasting all the data, everything you do, out to the world, and anybody who's within that reach of that signal can easily sniff out your email passwords, look at your email, find out all sorts of stuff about you. Most of the time, they're not going to get credit card numbers, that kind of thing. If you're on a safe site, a banking site, a secure site, that stuff's scrambled. But everything else, including getting your email, is unscrambled in most cases. So I think that even though they ship these without any security turned on, you should turn it on. And that's really what Windows is telling you when you see that unsecured access point. They're saying it's not secured. So let's secure it. What do you say, Byron?
Sounds good.
You feel up to it?
Sure.
It's not too hard. It does require, and this is why they do it, a little bit of effort here in figuring it out, because what you're going to turn on to is turn on security in this first. That's WPA, or Wireless Protected Access. Don't use WEP. That's the older form, and it's not secure, really. Steve Gibson was on the show just a little while ago explaining why it's not safe. WPA is, and Windows Service Pack 2 and later supports it. OS 10 supports it. Linux supports it. And most routers, if they're late model routers, support it. And in many cases, you can get an upgrade to the older models to support it. And you should use that one. That one's never been cracked. You turn that on, it'll say, well, what's the password? You make up a good, strong password. That's your encryption key. And then remember it, because, in fact, you might even want to write it down. It's okay to write this one down because, this is the guy sitting out at the curb that you don't want to get in, not somebody inside the house. So you can write this one down. And then you're going to have to go to each machine, and all of a sudden it's going to have lost its wireless. You're going to have to log in again, and all of a sudden it'll say, hey, this is a secured access point. What's the password? You'll enter the password, and you're back. And most of the times, this will save the password. You don't have to enter it more than once. But now you've secured yourself, and this is a much safer way to use this router. It's everything you send to and from the router is scrambled, so nobody who's sitting out in front of the house can see what you're doing. Does that make sense?
To a certain degree. Where do I get this DPA?
It's built in. All you have to do is you know how you can configure your router?
Yes.
Yeah, you surf to the address of the it's like 192.168.1.1. So you surf in there, and you'll see right on the front page, turn on WPA or use encryption. It's different on every router, but it'll be pretty clear. Turn on encryption, and then when it gives you a choice, WPA encryption is what you want to use. Sometimes you'll see WPA and WPA2. It's okay to just use a plain old WPA.
Okay, thank you, Leo.
You're welcome.
Glad you're back.
I'm glad to be back. I mean, this is the kind of stuff I think everybody needs to know, and I don't think there's any TV show in the world at this point that's telling people this kind of stuff. You need to know this stuff if you're going to use wireless, and everybody's using it. One other thing you might want to do, just so that somebody doesn't log in and change your router settings, make sure you change your default password. Don't use the generic password that it comes with, because everybody knows what that password is, right? So change the password on your router. All right?
Okay.
Hey, it's great to talk to you. Thank you, Byron. We're glad to be back in Reno and California and Texas and New York City and everywhere across the country. And now, Australia, Canada, and U.S. I think someday we're going to be worldwide. Thanks for the call. Coming up, more of your phone calls in just a bit, but one more chance to take our daily tech quiz. Here is the question of the day, and kind of ironic. What does WEP stand for? Well, I was just talking about this. Well, we know it stands for lousy encryption, but what does the acronym stand for? Wireless Encryption Platform, Wireless Extension Portal, Wired Equivalent Privacy, or we expect perfection? Well, that's our motto here at Call for Help, right? Wrong. We'll be right back in just a bit. Stay right here. Welcome back to Call for Help. Before the break, we asked you what WEP stands for. This was probably the toughest quiz we've done in a while, unless you really knew the answer, because it's nothing you would expect it to be. In fact, I've gotten it wrong many a time. It's wired equivalent privacy. And the whole idea was they were saying this is the encryption that's built into wireless routers, the bad one. They said this is about the equivalent to wired networking, not WEP. Hope you got that right. Now, whatever you do, don't use it in your router. I have an important announcement to make, by the way. There's a new virus out there. It's called the Federal Bureaucrat virus. Divides your hard disk into hundreds of little units, each of which does practically nothing at all, but all of which claim to be the most important part of the computer. No? Bad idea. Okay. I thought, computer humor, it's not the best in the world. Let's take another call. What do you say, Amber? If I haven't scared them all away.
All right. We have Rand on the line from Wimberley, Texas.
Hello, Rand.
Hello, Leo. How are you?
I'm well. How are you, sir?
Real good.
What can I do for you?
Well, a while back, my nephew had dropped in first time to visit me down in Texas.
Yep.
And his dad, which is my brother, lives in Germany.
Oh, neat.
And he put his Mac on the table, and he usually talks to his dad about once a day.
Right.
Over his webcam.
What a good son.
He is. He's a real
That's
good
really.
fellow.
I hope my dad does it. So they do video conferencing?
They do video conferencing at least once a day.
Oh, that is so great.
And when he logged on, he got one picture of their kitchen, and it froze right there. And I'm using the direct wave satellite on my connection.
There you go. There's your problem right there. So a couple of things. Yeah, there are a couple of things that video conferencing on satellite, not going to work. Audio conferencing on satellite, not going to work. And the reason is, first of all, your upload stream is very slow. You've probably noticed that, or maybe it's like modem speed. So
and worse sometimes.
And worse sometimes. So that's problem number one. I mean, if you're going to have a conference call, you've got to be able, believe it or not, the most important thing is your upload bandwidth. It's how much data you can upload. But that's not even the worst of it. Because you're sending it all the way up to that satellite, and then it has to go all the way down from that satellite to the internet center, and then to Germany, that is about a 1 or 2 second round trip there. Right. So you've got, that's called latency or lag, and that is the kiss of death for real-time communications. It's fine for an email, send some email, and then it all arrives at the other side, and maybe a couple of seconds later, but big deal, right? But the problem with video and audio is it has to kind of get there in, a timely fashion, and more importantly, in order. And so, you're sending voice packets up to the satellite, and they go down, and
wait.
And wait. By the real problem is the time to live on those packets is probably too short, and they cancel out by the time they're about halfway back down to the earth, and they never even make it. So there are some things you can do. You can increase, this would improve, and it might improve it enough to make it kind of work, increase what's called the TCP receive window. What it basically says is to the other end, give me a little more time to get my data to you before you ask for it again. See, what's happening now is you're sending the data out, and and the other end is going, I don't hear you, I don't hear you, I don't hear you. And as soon as it gets an I don't hear you to you, which comes faster than yours going out, you send it again and again. And so you're stuck in this loop of sending the same picture of the kitchen over and over and over again, because it never got it.
That's right.
So you can, I don't think it'll make it usable, but you can increase the TCP receive window and at least try. In fact, it's a good thing for you to do on a high latency connection like a satellite connection anyway. I'll tell you the easiest way to do it. There's a little registry hack you can do. I'm going to send you to the Navas guide, N-A-V-A-S guide to cable modems and networking. John Navas is a guy who used to be on the show all the time. Love this guy. He's really wonderful. And if right at the beginning, speed up your connection, increasing TCP receive window. He explains why it's important and why it makes a difference. And he even has the little registry hacks you can do. You can even download these little registry files and just double click them, and it'll change it to work for better for a high latency. What you do is essentially increase the TCP receive window from 32 kilobytes to 64 kilobytes.
32 to 64. Yeah. This will be in the show notes and everything?
Yeah, I'm going to put it in there. I haven't put it in there yet.
Okay.
But I will put it in there right now. And but if you just do a Google for Navas space guide, you'll find it. And anybody who has to deal with slow networks, high latency networks, should know about this. In fact, when we were on the cruise ship, I distributed a little program to everybody on the cruise ship that would fix temporarily fix it so that it would have that higher window, because that does make a big difference. Because we were on satellite also, but nobody would even have dreamt of trying to do a video conference over that connection, because it's not going to. Even with this receive window, it ain't going to happen.
Now, my wife, with her VPN, she's usually gone anywhere from a day to a week away from the house, and does a lot of work in the field.
Yeah.
And I believe she said her company uses a Citrix server.
That's a very good one, yeah.
Would this speed up her usage of her VPN? Because even when she downloads big files.
No, nothing's going to speed it up, because no matter what you're using, you've still got that satellite.
Latency.
You can't fix that.
Okay.
No, it's very good, but VPN also does not work well on satellite. This is the great curse of living in the beautiful countryside as you do.
Yeah, we're out in the middle of nowhere.
The thing you give up is internet access. Satellite's the best you can get, and it's not that good. But good news, Rand, coming down the road in the next few years, you're going to see things like WiMAX, BPL, and other technologies bring good quality, high-speed internet to every nook and cranny of the world. And I think that that's just a few years off. We cross our fingers.
I hope to see something. I mean,
I know.
We're 40 miles from Austin and 40 miles from San Antonio. And
yeah. But the good news is flat. You got line of sight. You might well be able to get WiMAX. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised. Check with Austin and San Antonio and see if
that the microwave style?
Yeah, it's very and they can, because you got line of sight. It's not exactly, but it's high. It's 30-mile throw for Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay.
And WiMAX is going to be probably your solution, and I wouldn't be surprised at all. Austin is a high-tech city if they don't have something.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Check around in Austin for WiMAX.
Yeah, there's a new one out, Sky Blue, a new satellite
Same
company.
thing. Yeah.
Do we know anything about that?
No, it's going to be the same problem, because it's satellite latency. Same problem. WiMAX is your solution. Keep looking for that. All right, Rand?
Okay, thank you very much.
All the best to you, sir. Thanks for watching us.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
One more little bitty segment to go. We're going to say how you can be on this show. When the call for help continues, don't you go away. Welcome back to Call for Help. Amber's hacking her Mac. That's good. So she's figured out a way.
A way to actually get your widgets from your dashboards, those little mini apps. That
Normally they disappear.
They disappear. You can get them, and you can actually keep them on your desktop versus having to do F12
all the time.
And actually go to dashboard to get them. So it's a hack on Mac OS X.
That's a good place to go. And we'll do this as a Mac tip in a later show, because why waste it? We're almost out of time, so we better tell you. Go to callforhelptv.com, click the link that says Ask a Question, fill out the form. We'll put you on the show next time. Remember, if you've got a problem with your personal confuser,
don't whine.
Don't moan.
Don't yell.
Just call for help. We'll see you next time.
We love craft work.